Okay. Do you want me to jump in, Gloria?
So we thought we had a lot of people asking us questions with regards to the operating systems and they're getting ready to do the new iOS updates. So many of us are very concerned about these updates and their stability to our accessibility. So oftentimes we have little glitches with VoiceOver and or the magnification features. So what we oftentimes encourage individuals is, until you learn the new operating system or find out the new features that are in it so that you're prepared, it might be a good idea to stop or pause the update so that it doesn't happen right away. And this gives us all an opportunity to kind of get up to speed with some of the new updates and or allow some of those updates to then kind of filter themselves through. In other words, many of them are going to have glitches and problems. So allow them to go through until the other updates happen to fix those glitches. So that's ultimately what today and the purpose was for, is so that we could tell you guys, hey, oftentimes, I mean, for those of you that feel very confident, hey, go in and try the update. Just remember that there could be potential glitches and things that could stop you from using that phone for a short period of time.
Right.
So again, the reason why we decided to tell everybody how to make it so that your phone does not do the updates. Now, as we kind of go through, Mary Abby created a video. So please, ask questions, if you need to right now. But we created a video so that she can show you how to exactly turn them on and off. Obviously, we're going to go through that today. But I just wanted everybody to know. And there are various ways. We noticed that when we were going through this process, depending on what version of the operating system you have, things are going to appear a little bit different.
All right, so we'll go into the basics first. What is an iOS update? So iOS is the operating system on Apple devices such as iPhones, iPads, and iPod Touches. It is basically what allows your device to work the way it does. Each year, Apple releases a new version of iOS, and this update is downloaded onto your device and installed automatically unless you specify otherwise. So what does the update entail? So the update can often bring things such as changes to accessibility features, and they can be improvements, or they could be small problems that you may encounter. So they can be good or bad. Possible changes to the layout of your home screen. Your home screen could change. They could rearrange all those. I think for the new update, they will be rearranging the home screen, what it looks like, if I'm not mistaken. We'll have to see. And possible bugs or errors in the system. Apps on your phone may need to be updated in order to work with the new iOS, but there can be occasions where the developer of that application has not released a new version for the new iOS update and it's not compatible. So you may lose some apps that aren't ready to be updated, if that makes sense. So please feel free to let me know if that doesn't make sense. All right. So when can you update your iOS? Well, like as Gloria said, if you feel confident and feel comfortable playing with the new changes that may come, feel free to update that and keep, those automatic updates on or update it manually at some point yourself. So the first major iOS update is released towards the end of the year, and that's coming up probably in October, September, maybe November. It depends on how COVID works and everything else. This is the update with the big changes, the major changes. The smaller updates will subsequently be released kind of throughout the next year. Usually within the following month after the first big release, they'll release one or two smaller updates with bug fixes, any changes that you decide to make, all that kind of stuff. And as we said, these updates contain bug fixes. As people report them, they tend to fix the big issues that they come across. And you can check out a website called AppleVis if you're a VoiceOver or accessibility user, and they tend to post updates on like what bug what bugs they encounter with the update in regards to the voiceover or the magnification, all that kind of stuff. And that way you can understand what kind of changes are being made before you make that big update. So it's
I'm sorry,
Applevis,
Mary Abby, what was the name of that website?
applevis.com, APPLEVIS, kind of like Apple Vision, but without the rest of Vision,
Oh.
applevis.com.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
it's like
So
a blog.
I've used that website before. It's great.
It's amazing. They have a lot of
Yeah.
resources. They have a whole directory of accessible apps and all that kind of fun stuff. So check them out, and they do update all the, they do come up with blog entries when there are huge updates like this with accessibility changes. So, all right.
They have social media accounts also.
They do. Yep, you can follow them on Twitter. I don't know if they have Facebook.
I'm not sure about Facebook.
Not sure, but I know they have a Twitter for sure.
Yeah.
So to prevent these automatic iOS updates, you go to General. You go to Settings first. And if anyone wants to do this now, let me know and I'll slow down. So you go to Settings, then you go to General, and you can actually ask Siri to go to General Settings if you just want to skip that, that first step. You can say go to General Settings, and she will. So General Settings, or Settings General. Then you go to Software Updates. And if you're a VoiceOver user, you just have to scroll down, swipe to the right and scroll down to Software Updates, which is second on the list for most people. Then you will scroll all the way to the bottom, or until you hear her say something like customize automatic updates. You may also hear her say automatic updates. There are two different versions depending on the version of iOS you're running. So in one case, you may hear her say customize automatic updates, and you may also hear her say just automatic updates on or off. Now, if you just hear her say automatic updates on, then just double tap that and it will toggle that off. If it's already off, then you're all set. Otherwise, if you find the customize automatic updates button, you're gonna double tap or open that, and you will be presented with two options. You will see first, it will say download iOS updates. That'll be on or off, I'm not sure, depending on your settings. Then if you keep scrolling, you'll hear her say install iOS updates, and it will be on or off as well. And so to turn off the automatic updates, you just wanna go back to download iOS updates, and if it's on, double tap on it or touch it until it's off, and that will actually just disable the whole thing and prevent you from installing automatic updates, and that's how you do that.
I have a question.
Yep.
After you start settings, then you go to general, and what was the next site?
Software updates.
Okay. Okay.
Yep, and then you kind of scroll all the way to the bottom. It's usually at the bottom, and it will either say customize automatic updates or it will just say automatic updates.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. Mary Abby, I have a question. So when I did it, I see it. It says automatic updates and it says off. But so my question is, so it's been off this whole time for me. But once in a while, I get those update reminders where it shows you like almost like the login screen, like the keypad shows
Yes.
up, and I have to go to the very bottom and say not now.
Yes. Yep.
What does that mean? If I have it set to off, why is that showing up?
That's showing up
supposed to show
because
when it's off?
it's Apple reminding you and letting you know that you can now update your phone, but it's not actually installing or downloading the update for you. It's just letting you know that you have a new option to update.
Okay, so even if I punched in the code by accident thinking that it was just my lock screen and kind of enabled that, that's not going to enable that.
No, you would still have to go through a whole process to allow it to go through. You'd have to hit, install and accept an agreement or something. You have to go through a few other screens, but I think once you punch in your code, it does download it, but I don't think it installs it unless you ask it to. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. but that's.
I
what
think that's
mine
right, because I
says.
feel like I usually have to tell it to install it.
Yes,
so-
you do have to go through and do that yourself manually, unless you have automatic updates on.
Mary Abby?
Okay.
Yes.
So when there is an update, so there'll be like more than one update. I mean, that update contains more than one item that's going to be updated, right?
Oh yeah, so the big updates, so iOS 14, that's coming up the end of this year. Let's see, if it has a number like 14.0,
Mhm.
that's a big update. That's a major update. If it's 14, like, so right now we're on, I don't know, 13.6.1 or something like that, for example. That's a minor update. Like if I were to see an update right now for 13.4.2, that's a small one. They're just fixing a few things. But if
Okay,
it's a
so-
big whole number, that's a new update.
Okay, so in this big update, you can't really pick and choose what you want to update, can you?
No. Mm-mm.
No. So it's just whether or not you want to update it,
Yes.
or just be prepared for it, basically.
Yes, pretty
Exactly.
much. Yep. And so we actually are going to be holding a workshop on the new features that are coming.
Okay,
Just so you know, I don't know if you're registered for that one or not. I haven't looked, but
yes.
if you are, yeah, then you'll find out all the new ones, the new features.
Okay.
This cut out a little bit for me, but I don't know if someone might have already said this, but also in settings, when you look at the updates, it will tell you, you can use VoiceOver and like scroll through and it will tell you what's in the updates, whether they're big or small.
Yes, there are. It's called a change log, and they tell you what new features are there, and you can click on like learn more, and it will give you a list of all the new features that are there as well. Not all of them, just the big ones.
Do you know if the 6S is compatible with this new update of the 14 version?
I can find out.
I have the list that I was going to share with everybody of what phones can and cannot be updated. Whenever you guys are ready for that list, I have it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so just so that you know, the iPod 7 Touch can be up. All of these can be upgraded to 14. The SE, the 2016 version, the iOS 6S Plus, the 6S, the 7 Plus, the 7, the 8 Plus, the 8, the X, the XR, XS Max, XS, 11, 11 Pro Max, the iPhone SE 2020, and the iPhone 11 Pro.
There's so many. I didn't know that. So
I
many.
know, right?
Yep. So it's good
Thank
that they kept the 6S and the SE. That was really nice because I know many of us have those and we don't want to buy new phones.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
This is Molly from Services for the Blind. I just wanted to make one point real quick that I always feel like I have to remind people of just in case, it's not clear. So you guys probably already got this, but I just want to remind everybody, when you turn off automatic updates, you are not saying to your phone, okay, never update. You're not removing the ability to update. You're just removing the ability for the phone to do it, automatically in the night while it's plugged in charging. Your phone is still, they come out with these new updates. Of course, they want you to upgrade because their favorite thing to say is, oh, well, maybe your phone isn't working because you're not on the newest software version. I'm sure we've all heard that. Whenever you say I have a problem, they say, well, are you on the most recent software version? So they still want you to update. So your phone is still going to have plenty of opportunities to say, hey, there's a new update. Do you want to upgrade to that? So it's still going to ask you, even if you turn off automatic updates. All you're doing is removing its ability to update on its own, while it's plugged in and you're sleeping and stuff like that. I just wanted to make sure that
That's a
I
great
just want to
point.
reiterate that.
That's a great point, and that's what Marco was asking about just a bit ago. He was asking
Exactly. Yep.
About why he's still getting notifications that he can update, and it's showing him the passcode screen. Well, that's just it reminding you that you can. It's just
That's it. That's its favorite thing to do. It loves to remind you, hey, there's this new update. So unfortunately, turning off automatic updates is not going to get it to stop doing that. It's still going to take every opportunity to be like, hey, are you sure you don't want to update?
Yeah, just hit not now or remind me later, and
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a remind me later option.
Yeah. So
So these major updates, they come out every year? Is that the
Yes.
schedule? So
Yes.
do I expect, being a success, that the year after is probably, I'm gonna have to update,
I don't know when they're going to stop
either not
supporting.
do an update or change my phone?
I don't know when they're going to stop supporting the older phones. They don't tell us that kind of stuff in advance. I know for at least this year you're good if you wanted to update.
Yeah.
Next year I can't say when when they'll stop supporting. Usually I think what they say is 5 years after the release of your phone, but I don't know if that's wholly true. So we'll have to see. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
2016 was the SE and the 6S, I think. So
Yes, it was. Yeah.
that makes sense. Maybe next year's your last one. Maybe.
Yeah,
So we'll have to see.
thanks.
Yeah, no problem. So does anyone have questions? That was the skinny of our whole thing. That was all of it. So
Mary, it's Molly again. I was just wondering, can you just tell Siri, hey Siri, turn off automatic updates, or is that something she won't do?
no,
No.
turn off automatic updates. Oh. Nope. No luck. She can't
No.
do it.
No, from what I understand, you can ask her to take you to the setting, but then you have to actually activate the setting or deactivate the setting.
Yep. Oh, it's worth a shot though. Good question.
It sure was. Awesome question. Great.
It's so tricky, that one.
Yes,
Yeah, she is tricky. I wish she would be able to do calendar. I still don't understand why you can't enter contact information using Siri.
Me too.
That just makes no sense.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I'm
It's
hoping
not
in
in
there.
her. It's not in her contract, Gloria.
It's not
I
in her
understand.
contract.
Yeah, I understand that.
That's funny. That's a good one, Molly.
So, by the way, we are going to be putting a video with step-by-step instructions so that you'll be able to see it both on our website and the YouTube channel. And we're hoping that'll be up within 24 to 48 hours. So any of you have any questions, and always remember, I know that this is an informational workshop. Some people, have great, they can follow it. Some people can't. So feel free to call us afterwards and say, hey, can you, walk me through that? We'd be happy to do that. So,
Sure.
just always remember that's, it's always an option for you.
Also, I think we just got the okay to, I think the audio recording of the Zoom will also be put up somewhere
Yes.
as well. So if you need that information, let us know and we'll get it to you.
They haven't let out the official release date for the operating system update, but just so that you guys know, it's usually in the latter part of September, and my guess is within a week or two we're gonna find out. They usually put it out right along the same time that they put out the new phones. So like I said, it's usually the latter part of September typically.
Yes, and we will, if I'm not mistaken, we will be having another workshop next Tuesday about the iOS 14 changes. Is that next?
Yeah, we're gonna go. Yeah, we're gonna go over some of the updates, and we're gonna concentrate primarily on some of the accessibility updates. But there's been some other updates. Remember that not only does the accessibility stuff help us, but many of the other fun features we can usually make good use of. So I'm just going through all. There are several. This is a significant, even more so than last year. Significant upgrades. There are so many changes. Both Mary Abby and I have a beta version of the 14, and we can tell you up until just recently, it wouldn't even work with VoiceOver. So right now it's working, and they've got a lot of really interesting accessibility features that they've added. So we're the update to 14.7 is their beta version, and we're hoping to get that any day so that we can then be able to share that with you next week.
So, and just as people know, that what we can tell you next week might be completely different. I mean, not completely, but they do make changes kind of as they update. So, we'll do our best to get you the current information too, because, with Apple, you never know what they're doing sometimes. But does anyone have questions on the updates?
We must have done a really good job.
We did good. We did good. Half an hour.
You did. Thank you very much.
Wow,
Did.
that's crazy.
It
That's
was
the
so good
shortest
to have
one.
yeah, it was so good to have everybody again and see and talk to everybody. So if you guys need anything, like I said, we're here for you. Let us help you out. And we'll see you next week for the big iOS features. Yay!
Okay.
Great.
Thank you. Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, everybody.
Thank you. Thanks for doing this. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
End meeting or leave meeting.
Just me and you, girl. All right, I'm signing out.
Okay, doke.